Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. Ain't know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy Podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together and shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned nerds here on episode 136 of the Black and Snurdy Podcast. I wanted to do something, but yeah, here we go.
Is this a new thing that's what they added?
Yeah, so you can do reactions for
Where do you
videos.
do
Once it's recording,
that?
it allows you to do a drop down, and you can select the reaction.
For Google, for Chrome or on the Chrome, I mean.
Yeah, but you can do it for all your videos. So there you go. See, look at that.
I love that.
Yeah. For the audio listeners, Odie is having a lot of fun
It
doing.
did this one. Okay.
Yes.
Why did it do the thumbs up?
I think you got to hold it for a while before it registers that it's a thumbs up. I'm just going to click it. There we go.
I love that.
Yes. So maybe I'll incorporate that throughout the thing.
Please do. I want all of the shenanigans.
Okay.
Oh, here are the reactions.
Oh, yeah. So since your video is going, you could probably do it on your end too. Oh, well, it's not going to go over here, but it's okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
We have it.
Yes. How you doing this week?
I'm pretty good. I mean,
You have to be rested because you had the week.
I did. I've mainly been sleeping this whole week.
Yes.
Because we had a week off of school for winter break.
Mm-hmm.
And I am rested, but also I think the thing is, like, you know how when
Rested and breasted.
you know how during the school week,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm in bed by like 10 o'clock, 10:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like sleeping, and that I'm like so good. And then when I'm not working, my sleep is just shenanigans.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I believe you were up until like 5:30 yesterday.
About because it was when you woke up is when I was finally getting a little bit tired. And
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think that's like when I'm at school, because like dealing with these kids is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Having to be like focused, and like I'm using all of my energy, like all of my brain power,
Wrangling these children.
wrangling the kids, like thinking about what we're doing, and they're asking questions, all that. And so I'm tired when I get home, and the day's over about 2:50, but usually I'm not getting home around until maybe like between 4 and 6, I would say is an average time I'm gonna get home, because like after the day's done, I still gotta clean up the room, I gotta set up for the next day and all that. So I feel like I'm doing a lot more, even though I'm not like moving my body as much. Although I will say
There's probably a physical aspect to cleaning up the room.
well, that's physical, but I think the main
For some
part,
reason, I imagine you're cleaning up chewing gum underneath
no,
desks
it's more
and
like
shit.
just chewed up pencils, because they, for whatever reason, you can't give them a pencil or a pen, or I found out my markers
Yeah, without them putting them in
without
their
them
mouth.
putting them in their mouth.
Look,
And-
oral fixation was big as a kid.
But yes, I used to chew on my pencils, and I used to chew on my pens and my markers and all that, but they were mine. Why are you chewing on other people's things?
Once it's in your hands, it's yours.
No, because I be telling them, first of all, you give them a pencil.
Ownership is 9/10 of the law, or whatever the fuck it is.
When say they see me on Mondays, I have them right out the gate. Like my first class is right in the beginning of the morning. But usually throughout the day, throughout the week, they're not seeing me until about their third class, right?
Sure.
But they will swear up and down they don't have any pens, they don't have any paper, they don't have any of this, any of that. And I know that we are providing them with these things. And the problem is that throughout the day, I will go be in my classroom and they're playing, they're breaking the pencils, they're throwing them around, they're chewing on them, they're all this stuff.
Are they doing that game where like you hold the pencil and then the other person
they're not doing that.
hits the
But they're just like
pencil with another pencil?
If you're not literally staring at them, and these are not kids that maybe have IEPs or anything like that. These are just like kids in general are just destructive by nature. It's like if I put something on their desk, I have to immediately be like, do not touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Do not rip it.
Yeah.
Do not write on it. Don't put it in your mouth. Just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the very interesting thing about teaching middle schoolers that I tell people. It's like, yeah, they are older, so you can like have some conversations with them and all that. But they're still babies. They're not really, to me personally, middle school is the same kind of shenanigans that you get in elementary school. And some part of it, like, I don't know how much of it.
Or at least it's more reasonable in elementary school than it is.
Because in elementary school, like,
if they don't have paper or if they don't have pencils, it's probably because they forgot it.
Yeah, but
object permanence and everything like that. They'll be telling me,
oh, I forgot my whole book bag at home, or I just don't have it. Where are the notebooks that we gave you? Where are your workbooks? And as a kid with ADHD, I know that it is not always easy to like remember your stuff all the time. But I'm trying to remember if I was like going so as far as like just for losing my books. Not really. Like maybe a notebook.
I gotta imagine.
But
remember if that was the case?
I don't recall ever losing an actual like workbook or a textbook.
That would be blasphemous.
A notebook, sure. But the textbooks, at least for me, like at least in Long Island, we got our textbooks from the district. Now the DOE, we have to buy those textbooks for them, and then like you have them, and usually you hopefully will have enough for everybody and all that. But I'm like, y'all do not have enough resources here in this school to just be checking your shit.
Yeah,
just hold on to it, especially like the 8th graders. Like for me, 8th graders, y'all have no excuse for not holding on to your things. It's just that you do not want to. And honestly, I blame your elementary school teachers. I blame COVID. And I blame not the teachers that are there.
Wait, why do you blame the elementary school teachers?
Because I feel like elementary school is where you lay the groundwork for middle school, the same way how middle school lays the groundwork for high school.
Sure.
Like in 2nd grade, we would maybe get like a worksheet to come home, and it was like very clear. You need to have this home come back with you. Because if you had 2 missing assignments, then your parents have to sign your planner, right? Then your parents have to get a note home, or you're missing recess, you whatever. Like it was very clear. And then as we got older, it was like, these are going to be the expectations. You have this assignment due, you have to do it. You have a project due. This is how we are working on it. We're working on it in class, working at home. But like you have to gain these muscles. And I don't know why that these kids do not have the muscles. And I don't know what it is, because it's not, I know like there's my kids, I feel like they have their own predicaments. But I talk to other teachers from a variety of schools with a variety of resources and socioeconomic statuses, races, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it seems that the kids from kindergarten all the way up to high school, even college, are having a difficulty in the classroom, like understanding classroom etiquette, understanding what it means to what you need to be doing in school and what that means. And I do wonder if the bigger impact of that, is it that their elementary school teachers were not doing what they needed to do because obviously it's a crowd, maybe it's overcrowded, maybe they didn't have the resources, or teaching during COVID was a shit show, or was it that you just were not emphasizing certain things? I don't know.
I would probably blame the
parents, and also the parents.
Well, yeah, parents too. But I would probably blame it makes more sense to me that the disruptive world of COVID, where kids weren't going to school, kids were remote learning. At least when we never had a global pandemic to deal with, so all of our schooling was uncut.
Yeah, for sure. Like our
we had
activities, we
school,
still had to go to school.
and then we had our breaks, and then we had school, and then we had summer, and then we had school, and then we had our breaks. Like it was a natural progression where, like,
Exactly.
you know, in kindergarten and pre-K, like, oh, you're learning your ABCs and you're taking naps and shit, and then like second grade comes, is like, actually you got to stay awake, and then third grade comes, like, now you gotta do some work, and then it's fourth, fifth,
believe, like,
and it's just an uncut progression
when I think about
as you keep going.
The 6th through 8th graders, so that means COVID was 2020. That's 5 years ago.
Sure.
So they were between first grade and third grade, probably. And those are big deals. I don't think people realize why it's so important for children to be in school. Like, you know how, like, I don't know if you've seen how Trump and his pick for the DOE head is Linda McMahon, I believe.
Linda McMahon, yes.
And so I keep seeing now these ads for, like, oh, you know, it's so important for education, and that's why we want to make sure people can homeschool their kids. People cannot homeschool their children. And I'm going to tell you why. Unless you are, like, certified as a teacher.
Sure.
Unless you have help.
Sure.
By someone who is also certified as a teacher, and you literally have nothing else to do, and you have the patience and understanding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it is very difficult for you to teach your kids because, one, kids always famously, infamously, et cetera, act different at home than they do at school.
Yes, they do.
So it's like
they have their bedroom that's right over there for them to, like, curl up and
you're in a space,
relax.
Even if you say, like, oh, I'm going to take you don't want to do school at home, like, oh, let's go to the library. The way that you act with your parents is vastly different than the way that you act with everybody else, including your aunts and uncles, including your big cousins.
Yeah, you code switch.
And especially your teachers. Because when you're at school, like, that is the school environment. When you're at home, that is the home environment. And you can have enrichment stuff you do with your kids at home. But I need people to understand the only reason why the Trump administration is trying to force you or push you or you know, give you any sort of ideas to homeschool your children is because they don't want your children to be educated enough.
Yeah.
And then
that way the onus is on you. And if you fail, that, I mean, if it fails and your kid doesn't, like, matriculate and learn and shit, then it's your fault.
Yeah, and there's actually
even though it's really not your fault, it's the system's fault.
I've seen a lot of these kids whose parents were like, we're going off the grid. We don't want these woke teachers teaching our kids. And so there are all these parents, even pre-COVID, who were completely like, we're getting out of the school system. We're teaching them our own curriculum, etc. And with homeschooling, you're supposed to be able to, like, have your curriculum, and you can either get ones from your city or your state, etc., to help you. But there's no real, like, homeschooling, like, regents or homeschooling SATs that you, like, standardized testing that you do for your kids. Really,
yeah, like, it's not like an across the board sort of thing.
Exactly,
it's not standardized.
And some of these kids are talking about how when they were in, you know, elementary school, they would have days where they're just like, oh, I don't want to learn to read, and they just wouldn't. And
now they're done.
And now they can't. They're going to high school, or they're trying to get into high schools, or they're in high schools trying to get into college, and they are completely, like,
unable to read.
They can't really read that well at the level they're supposed to. Because the thing is, if you're sitting with a kid and they're reading, I can tell the kids that do not have great, they're not at necessarily their reading level, right?
Yeah.
There's always going to be kids, regardless of what type of school you're in, have varying levels for each thing. And so you are tailoring it for that child and all that. But a lot of these parents, they don't have the patience. And when I talk about patience, it's like, you have to sit here and do this work. Yes, we could take a break after 15, 20 minutes or whatever. No, I don't care if you're going to have a tantrum. You're still going to have to do this later. Like, we still have to learn. And if the way that you're teaching it maybe doesn't work, we can find other ways to do it. But you cannot just allow your child to be like, oh, I just don't feel like doing words today. Like, because after a while, that is going to set them up for a very unfortunate future where they're having to recap and do all that. And it is very hard to go back and learn the basic things and your foundational things when you're already like, by the time you're in fifth grade, they are expecting that you could know your sight words, you could read a sentence, you could write a paragraph at the bare minimum, unless there's something else going on where you might need some extra help. And who's paying for are you getting a resource room teacher to come to your house? Are you getting a tutor for your kids? No. And unless you want to have a bunch of people with no critical thinking skills, with no ability to really like think for themselves, go beyond what the book says, go beyond what even you say, it is just not possible. So I find that it is so important to be really focused on making sure that these kids are understanding what they're doing. And I do not think that most parents are capable of that unless they've really spent the time and dedicated the time to like make sure their kids are going to be able to grow up and be a part of the world regardless of what they want to do, because it's not like college. Even if they want to be a trucker, if they want to be a construction worker, they want to be whatever, a painter or whatever, you still have to be able to have a well-rounded education. And some of these kids, and also I think there's also societal things, because these kids be cursing in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to put on my rule wall, no cursing.
Yeah.
And that is like foreign to them. And I asked one of my students, I was like, do your parents let you curse at home? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna, you're an 8th grader. If your parents won't let you curse, there are plenty of parents who are like, you can curse in front of me. We can have alcohol in front of me. You can smoke weed in front of me. If we're doing it at the house, that's fine. But there still has to be a delineation where it's like, this is school time, school behavior, and this is outside of school behavior. Because I don't think these kids really know the difference. And so, I had my friend's funeral the other day.
Yes.
R.I.P. A.B. And I was just noticing how, like, we were in church and some of the people, and these were both younger people and adults, were cursing. And I was like, oh, wow. There's
we did grow up not cursing in church. Although it didn't really seem like that was like I thought it was a given not to curse in the church.
I thought so as well, but I think
new generation.
A new generation. People are not growing up in the church anymore,
no,
and not to say that you have to, but I think that if you grow up in the church,
it helps.
Or if you grow up church adjacent or whatever, or not even church, but like church, synagogue, temple, whatever the case, adjacent.
You hit the 3 major holidays for church. Like what you choose. It's usually Easter, Christmas.
Usually Easter, Christmas, maybe New Year's if you want to do
New
night
Year's.
What's the other one?
Not Sabbath. What's the thing with Ash Wednesday?
Ash Wednesday, but that's Easter, isn't it? Or I guess Ash Wednesday and then Easter.
Yeah, Ash Wednesday is 40 days before Easter.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that there's some things that the kids, because their parents are our age, some of the kids' parents are our age, some of those kids' parents might be younger than us.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then even people whose parents are like a generation above us, they're not necessarily the most like mindful of things. They're just like whatever. And it's very curious. I think that these are the things I think about as like a sociological, cultural anthropology type of thing of like how the impact of how our parents were raising us impact how we raised the next generation, and how like
the trickle down effect of
exactly, because it's a mix. You gotta have balance. You gotta have both.
Yes, you do.
But how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Hold on, that was Odie's teacher corner. I'm doing well.
Good.
No, I'm doing well. This week has been pretty good for the most part. Next week is going to be kind of a doozy. I think I'm on AMs next week. So
well, that's not bad though.
Yeah.
So I feel like at least with AMs, You get to go in. You go in early, but you're home early
There's
enough.
that turnaround from Monday to Tuesday.
Oh,
that's
well, the Monday
always
to
a
Tuesday
beast.
is the part.
And one of my coworker managers is out on vacation, so I have to work the floor Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
do you feel
that's
like that gets you tired?
what the turnaround from Monday to Tuesday.
Just like throughout the day, like if you didn't do anything all day, you'll be tired, you go to sleep. Do you feel like just being on the floor and having to like paying attention? Because I think that's what makes me more tired throughout the day is not the physical labor, but the brain labor and like having to focus.
Yeah, having to focus, having to like put out fires and like be attentive and stuff. That drains me. And like
this day drained.
Yeah, at the very least, when I'm working PMs, like I don't go to the floor immediately. So like there's always like even if I get there at like 1:30, I might not get to the floor until like 3:30, maybe sometimes even 4:00. But when I get there on specifically, I would say Thursdays, like I have to get there and I have to be there until I'm relieved at 1:30. Yeah, and that's mainly due to like there's no meetings on Thursdays.
Yeah,
there's usually a meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. So like by 2:00, I could just not knock off. Like by 1:00, I can go to lunch. 2:00, I'm in the meeting, and then once the meeting is done, I get the fuck off and go home. So yeah. But that's just what it is. It's and it is work. Work is work is work. Work.
That was not planned.
No, it wasn't. Shall we get into it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring it down a little bit. Because we are celebrating the life of a past individual with our RIP corner. And this week, unfortunately, it is unfortunate that the ancestors have called these individuals home to rest. So let us take it down a notch for a sort of somber remembrance for some individuals that we have lost. The ancestors have called them home in our RIP section. And who are we honoring this week, Odie?
So the first person is Sam Nordquist. I hope I said their name right. They were 24 years old, and on the article that came out on 15th of February said that they had been missing for about 5 days. There are 5 people who have been arrested and charged in New York in connection with their disappearance and death. Sam was originally from Minnesota and had been reported missing earlier that week. And then, unfortunately, the unfortunate news came out. And the police had said that he was a victim of a criminal act. They said that Captain Kelly Swift with the New York State Police said our investigation has revealed a deeply disturbing pattern of abuse that ultimately resulted in Sam's tragic death. That he faced both prolonged physical and psychological abuse at the hands of multiple individuals, and also called it one of the most horrific crimes I have ever investigated. Now, Sam's mother has been is upset at this point at the rate at which the police have been moving. And she said that his mother Linda said that Sam may be alive today if they would have done their jobs. And the article on NBC News said the mother of Sam Nordquist, a transgendered man who was tortured and killed, is absolutely slamming the police response. And I think that she should be doing that because we have already seen the impact of the negative rhetoric around trans people. And we've seen, especially with this new administration, how much of an impact that the already targeted trans community has been having, whether it's states not having the ability to even say the word trans, or banning trans individuals, or murders. I mean, we've talked about trans people being murdered on this show before, and it's really, unfortunate, but this is just a reminder that we have to be in community with all of our people, regardless, but especially when they are folks who are from an even more marginalized community. And the next person we want to give honor to is Valetta Wallace, who is famously known as the mother of the Notorious B.I.G. She passed away at 78, and the EW Entertainment News said Valetta Wallace, the mother of the Notorious B.I.G, has died. She was 78. Wallace helped manage her son's estate and was a driving force behind his posthumous legacy, and was also a beloved figure in the hip-hop community. Her influence was undeniable, and this is a moment to remember the legacy she helped create.
Agreed.
And, I think that even though, like, obviously she was not the celebrity, but her being the person who created this iconic person in media, and having continued to keep his legacy alive, and also trying to make sure she was helping other people. With his estate, they did scholarships and tried to help the community, etc. And in March 2021, she told EW, "As long as I have life, there's hope. I'll never give up. And I hope that when I'm not in this world anymore, my friends and family will carry on this fight. There's always hope." So I hope that with her passing, that her family is able to get the relief that they so deserve, need, and want regarding Biggie's passing. But we just have to be thankful for her being who she was and shining her light on this world and giving us the Notorious B.I.G. So R.I.P. to you, Miss Wallace.
R.I.P. Mama B.I.G.
And, Angela Bassett, she played her in the movie Notorious.
Notorious, yeah.
I think was that 2009?
I think so.
All right, are you ready for the shenanigans?
I sure am. Pop topics.
All right.
Where do you want to start for the pop topics?
Speaking of Bad Boy.
Can we do that anymore?
Not for funsies. Only for
Nolan.
No, well, that was Biggie's part.
Yeah, that was Biggie's
Diddy's part was the...
But, like, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, can we listen to Biggie?
So here's the thing.
Because Diddy's pretty much all over.
Biggie is all over. Biggie and Diddy are synonymous, right?
Yeah, they're very synonymous.
But I think that at this point, like...
I don't want to have to not listen to 112.
Biggie has his own things that people would talk about, and we have not said it as a culture or a select. Excuse me. Maybe there are people who are like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to Biggie" or whatever. But I do not feel like we need to keep ourselves from listening to the artists who were under Diddy's nefarious regime, mainly because many of those artists were victims in some way too.
Oh yeah. Oh no, notoriously.
There are people who have still to this day are still talking about Diddy.
Diddy never paid. Oh, I thought you were going to say Diddy never paying them and owning their masters and stuff like that.
So many of those artists, Biggie was the icon he was because he passed away at the height of his career. But if Biggie had
arguably, like, I feel like he could have gone higher.
No, I think he could have gone higher, but I'm talking about in relation to Diddy. When we saw how Diddy moved,
Sure.
When you think when he had Diddy had Biggie, he had 112, he had Mace, he had Mary, he had Faith, all these other people, and there's out of all the people that Diddy managed, who is still really relevant today? Mary J. Blige. And she has been able to, reinvent herself over and over, but she also left Diddy after a while. Like, she hasn't been a part of Bad Boy for a very long time.
Sure.
I would say Lil' Kim, because she's an iconic woman rapper.
I would say
even then her career took a dip when, like, after Biggie died, and like, yeah, of course, when we were in high school, she was doing really well. But I don't feel like any of his artists, even as high as they could have been, did he do anything to really make sure they had a long-standing career? They had to like leave him and go and
do it their own selves. I would say Mace is probably on that list too. Because he's pivoted into like media.
Because he has his podcast now with Cameron, very successful.
Yeah,
but there was no reason why Mace should have had the lull in his career that he did.
Oh sure,
and we see how so many of the people. Isn't Loon in some sort of religious cult now?
I thought Loon died.
No, he's not.
Is Loon past? Or am I thinking of
You're thinking
Black Rob.
You're thinking of Black Rob.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think that we should be supporting these people. Now, hopefully, if he really did give them back, he gave some people back their masters. What was that, like 2 or 3 years ago? When it was like, when we know that all of this kind of was coming. No, Loon's still alive. Okay. So he was in prison. He was granted early release from prison.
Yeah, that's right. He was in prison.
A decade.
Loon.
And that was in 2020. So he was sentenced to 14 years in prison after pleading guilty to drug trafficking charges in 2013. What's his name? Shine, or it's Shine, right?
Yeah, Shine.
Shine, who's now Prime Minister of Panama?
That's a good question. I want to.
But he's a Prime Minister.
Belize, yeah, he's a diplomat.
But if you like, he is
leader of the opposition of Belize.
But we all know what happened to him. He was a young man when that happened.
Sure.
I think he was like 19 or 20, because right now he is 46.
Sure.
And when all that happened with Diddy, he was still very young.
Yes,
so
agreed.
Like, all the people that he has impacted, like, I want to support them the same way that I want to support, like, the Cosby Show, not because of Cosby, but because I want everybody else to get there.
Felicia Rashad and Bledsoe, and Tempest Bledsoe, and Malcolm Jamal Warner.
I mean, there's so many people that
you think. Sorry, this what? Is. Do you think if he ever threatens anybody, he gives them a Malcolm Jamal warning?
Shut up. Anyway, back to
Diddy. What's going on with Diddy?
So Diddy's lawyer has called it quits.
Yes.
According to the USA Today, Anthony Rico, who's on his legal team, has resigned. And he had something to say about it.
All right, let's hear from Diddy's lawyer and see what he had to say.
He's doing fine. It's a difficult circumstance. He's making the best of the situation.
A situation one of Diddy's attorneys won't be part of moving forward. Anthony Rico announcing in court docs, under no circumstances can he continue defending the embattled rapper.
This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
In a motion filed on Thursday, Rico stopped short of revealing why he's stepping down from Diddy's legal team, just months ahead of the music mogul's scheduled trial date in May for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, all of which Diddy's denied.
You know, Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get.
That's Rico speaking up late last year for his now former client. ET's learned the attorney's exit will not affect Diddy's other attorneys, nor their defense strategy.
I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me.
After Diddy was arrested, Rico said he provided a high level of legal representation. But now, for reasons unknown, he can under no circumstances effectively serve in the upcoming trial.
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now.
So why do you think Diddy's lawyer left?
Well,
Do you think maybe he was trying to get him to wear Sean John? It's like, if you wanna represent me, you gotta represent me.
I don't know, because
Playboy.
when I looked into the type of trials that Anthony Rico has done,
Mm-hmm. You would think he would be perfect for this because his name is Anthony Rico, and this is a Rico charge.
So I found that he was responsible for the World Trade bombing. He was working on the World Trade bombing conspiracy trial. That's the initial one that was 94, I believe.
I believe so.
1994. United States versus Omar Abdel Rahman and the embassy bombing case. The United States versus Osama bin Laden.
Who was he representing?
Probably you. I don't know. Maybe Osama. I don't know. Probably.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Everybody needs a good lawyer. And Better Call Saul.
Everybody needs a lawyer.
That's my frame of reference. 5 seasons and we're out.
He also worked on the Sean Bell shooting, People versus Michael Olivar, and he represented Detective Guestcard Isnora. I don't know. I'm not sure which case that was. He's also an adjunct professor at Fordham University, where he teaches law. Now, it could be a variety of things.
Yeah. It's a number. It could be any number of things that made him leave.
In researching why lawyers might accuse themselves, it could be something where maybe Diddy said something crazy or did something crazy and he knows about it. And there are certain things yes, you have attorney-client privilege, but there are some things if he has information that he found out and Diddy was trying to say, oh, you can't give that to the defense or whatever, or to the prosecutors or whatever like that.
Sure.
He's going to have to say, I'm going to have to leave. Or it could be a conflict of interest. Or maybe he just saw things that were really insane and said, you know what? I'm ahead.
I'm out.
And you would think someone who was, now let me check who was Anthony Rico defending Osama bin Laden? Because I want to know, was he the defense or what? Who was he? Because I'm curious about that. So some folks online are saying that he was a defense lawyer in the case against Osama bin Laden, United States versus Osama bin Laden.
So he defended Osama bin Laden.
But you can't defend Diddy, and that to me says a lot.
It does say
that says a lot. I don't know. I mean, a huge global terrorist or a music mogul. You would think that one of them would be a little less stressful, but apparently not.
Yeah. Well, we'll pay more attention to this as things develop. We'll see.
It's been developing. A lot of things are happening in this case.
Yeah.
And
a lot more things are going to continue to happen.
They are. And who knows? Hopefully everyone makes it out alive. That's really, I hope everyone makes it to trial. Everyone gets their day in court. says what they have to say, and then go from there.
And we will keep monitoring the situation as things continue to unfold. Now, next, because we kind of have to. We kind of have to. Time.
So next on our list, we have a lot
of court stuff.
But a lot of court stuff has been in the news in pop culture. Connected to the Diddy case, Jay-Z's lawsuit, or the lawsuit against Jay-Z, has been dropped.
Yes.
The accuser has dropped charges and allegedly has also been barred from court.
Yeah, this case.
This one was weird. Now the attorney, who has been working with some of these allegations, Tony Busby, has been barred from the New York court due to surrounding this Jay-Z case. So I don't understand why he would have brought this Jay-Z case up.
It sounds like he, based on, I was following this. I didn't want to comment on it until more information came. It sounds like he was mostly like an infomercial lawyer, an ambulance chaser, you know, and it's unfortunate that we're in a position where we are quick to judge without a jury, you know what I mean? Like we're quick at, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I am somebody who is always like believe victims and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it seemed like there was so many holes and so much like confusion and misinformation. And it really did, at the end of the day, seem like it was kind of like a cash grab to sully somebody's name.
I think the problem that I have with this is that whether it was a cash grab to sully someone's name or just a cash grab to get cash, because it's like you have Diddy who has all these allegations, and that we really know like this shit is sticky, right? Yeah. And then at that point, you're trying to throw anything else at the wall to try to get more money. Now, whether it was because he wanted to try to get money from Jay-Z's camp, whether he thought that this was going to give him more notoriety, I don't know. But apparently,
he was probably trying to get some go-away money. Maybe he was trying to get some go-away money.
Lawyers have done worse for less. But on Valentine's Day, February 14th, Busby voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice, which means that it prevents the case from being refiled in the future. Of course, Jay-Z's legal team said that this was a victory. They cleared his name from outrageous and defamatory accusations. I am very curious if they're going to try to sue Busby.
No, Jay-Z is actually going after Busby. He's trying to sue him.
Okay, because
he said we're pursuing legal action against him.
Roc Nation said that this was a blatant attempt to gain publicity and extort money. So, I mean, good for them, because do you remember when this all came out? That was right before Mufasa came out.
Yes.
And I remember when Blue Ivy was at her Mufasa premiere and Beyonce and Jay-Z were with her, and instead of the headlines being like Blue Ivy's first movie premiere, Lion King, Disney, it was like Jay-Z's with family at Mufasa premiere, and
amidst controversy,
you know. And I feel like
you only get one movie. You only get one first movie premiere.
Yeah, and also it's like we know that celebrities' children are always going to be like in the mix, unfortunately, when anything happens with their parents in the news. But it's just so unfortunate and frustrating that this young, beautiful Black girl who is just trying to live her life, do what makes her happy and all that, not only does she have to deal with trolls on the internet constantly calling her ugly, her hair looks bad, she's critiquing her in some way, and then you lop on that. So I'm glad that this is not something they have to deal with anymore, but it's always going to be something that people talk about, whether it's like, oh, did Jay-Z pay him off? Did Jay-Z pay her off? It's always going to be a thing. But Busby, the attorney, he is barred from practicing law in the Southern District of New York. But apparently it was not due to the dismissal of the case. Megan Cuniff, what do they call her? Oh man, Meg the is it Meg the Bob or something like that? because she did the Tory Lanez case. But Megan Cuniff, she said that the ban was because of Busby's failure to obtain the necessary permission before submitting his application for admission to the district court in January 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So that procedural misstep, combined with the allegations of misconduct during the filing process, led the Committee of Grievances for the Southern District of New York to take disciplinary action. So really, this was him fucking stepping on his own feet. And I really do hope that this does not impact Diddy's case, because those people deserve, anyone who's been impacted deserves to get their day in court and their just desserts, and he deserves to get his just desserts, because we know that everything that's happening there has been heinous. Like, regardless of every single thing has been checked, we know that shit was bad. Like, that's it. The next person who has weaved in and out of this judiciary quagmire, A$AP Rocky.
Yes, A$AP Rocky has been found not guilty.
Who? I guess he's gonna be staying Gucci down to his socks.
Yeah, no, he came, he saw, he prayed, Lord.
Do you know that I forget what A$AP Rocky's like big song was in like 2014, 2015 when he first came out?
Well, not when he first came out. Sorry, the only big song that I can think of is I Love Bitches.
No, that's with Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah, Drake and Kendrick and 2 Chainz.
Problem. But when I first heard about A$AP Rocky, it was that song, but I didn't know the name of it. I just used to hear it all the time. And then randomly, one of my exes had showed me this like contest they were doing to get a free ticket to see A$AP Rocky in Williamsburg. And I randomly won it. I go, and like, it was a great concert. I didn't know that A$AP Rocky was A$AP Rocky. I thought who was supposed to be A$AP Rocky.
Was it Peso?
Is that the first one? When did that come out?
I'm seeing it's in 2011.
What's the one after Peso?
No, I just typed in A$AP Rocky's most popular songs.
What's the one that comes out? But what's the one that comes out after it?
You keep saying that, and
what is the? You said 2011. So what comes after 2011? 2012, 2013, 2014?
Yes, 2012. But like none
what
of these
are the ones?
These
do they not have years?
Oh, Purple Swag, maybe.
I
don't know. Palace.
It came out 2013, 2014.
Okay. Wild for the Night. One know. Train. Level.
I'm not gonna remember. Either way,
Goldie. Oh, maybe it was Goldie.
Either way, I am.
I'm not up on A$AP Rocky's. Clearly. Name 3 more A$AP Rocky songs, and I'm not gonna. I can name.
I'm gonna tell you I could, but you over here being
Babushka.
Fucking A$AP dictionary over here.
What's it all about? And praise the Lord.
Good for you. I'm glad that you know these things. I never suggested I did. Either way.
Good.
I first saw A$AP Rocky, I thought he was A$AP. I thought it was A$AP Ferg was A$AP Rocky because of the crowd energy and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got to know more of A$AP Rocky's music, I did like him. Now I still am pissed off at him about saying that dark-skinned women shouldn't wear red lipstick. But you know, our queen Rihanna has, you know, decided to make a life with him.
Yeah.
So I am happy for her.
And he's the creative director or something of Ray-Bans now.
Yeah, he was wearing Ray-Bans.
And he's coming out with an album.
I'm sure he's
dumb or something like that.
He's gonna have a whole bunch of charitable things coming out.
Yeah.
Because of this thing. But he was on trial because he had a confrontation with Terrell A$AP Relly Efron in 2021 of November.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they said Rocky shot a handgun twice in Relly's direction and was charged with 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm August 15th of 2022. So he faced up to 24 years in prison if convicted, but the prosecutors were seeking an 8-year sentence. So honestly, I am happy that he is not being charged because, like, he is a father. He has this long-term partner. I don't know if they're married or not, in secret or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has the family.
Who would get married in secret?
Who? People do it.
Please.
But, they have enough money where they can get married in secret or not, and what it did wouldn't even matter because they got other things.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he is not going to jail, but I do want him to choose better choices. And just everybody stop thinking with your caveman Neanderthal brain. Okay? I gotta tell these to the kids all the time. Just because somebody does something to you does not mean you gotta do something to them, because it does not matter what they do to you. It matters that I saw what you did to them. And I can't tell you what happened 5 seconds ago when they hit you, but I saw you hit them. So now you're in trouble. Get your power up. Take a meditation class or something.
Don't squabble up.
Don't squabble up. Be an adult for once. Okay.
Every time I hear that phrase, I think about that Jay-Z remix.
That was my reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Have an affair. Be an adult for once.
Just
after this, I'm gonna tell you whose ringtone I made that as for a little bit.
I could guess. I guess who it is, but I don't remember their name. But I'm gonna say biology building.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, moving.
But that would have been applicable. That would have been applicable.
Moving on. SNL, Saturday Night Live. They had their...
I was doing conjunction. What's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? I got and, but, and, or. They'll get you very for. Okay, that's enough.
You know what? I should give my kids conjunction. You know what? I'm going to start playing my kids those one Saturday morning cartoons.
Those interstitials?
Yes, because I think that is what they need to remember all those things, because they are not remembering them, and I think that would help. Because that's what we had. They don't have one Saturday morning. They got fucking TikTok and Facebook Live and we're real live or whatever the bullshit is.
Imagine if I just have this theory that like technology is going to be banned in the next 10 years, and we're not technology, but yeah. And you sit on top of me. Hey, yo, I'm tired of using technology. My friends used to make fun of me for liking that song.
Why? It's a fucking great song.
It's a good song.
Just really maybe trash, but he has a great catalog.
She wants it. She wants it. Woo. She wants it, so I gotta give it to her.
So wait, the beat? You can't tell me.
So I gotta give it to her.
That Justin Timberlake was not making the hit.
No, he was making the hit.
And if he hadn't fucked over Janet Jackson and Britney Spears, we would be talking about him in a much different light right now.
And good for him for fucking off. Like he's nowhere to be found. He's living in the lap of luxury by himself. Like, is he married?
He's married to Seventh Heaven, Jessica Biel. Seventh Heaven.
He's married to Jessica Biel? Really? That big ass forehead?
Maurice.
She has a big forehead. Look up Jessica Biel.
Sized forehead.
Yes, she does. Look at that big ass forehead. Look, forehead. Jessica Biel. Look, nothing against Jessica Biel. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but she's a lovely person with a big face. No, that's a big forehead.
A 5 head.
No, that's IMAX right there.
Maurice.
She should have tried bangs, man. She should have tried bangs.
I am Jessica Claire Timberlake. She don't even go by Beal anymore. She's a Timberlake.
Okay.
You know, my first screen name was Angel Timberlake. Angel Timberlake 13 at hotmail.com or whatever it was before Hotmail or Excite.com.
No, I think it was. Well, no. I mean, I think that was different.
And I had Excite and I had Juno, and it was the same email.
you do look like you would have.
Hotmail.
Did you also have fucking Net Zero as the internet?
It came to the CD. I remember it came to the CD, and we only had like I think it was like 30 hours of internet on it or whatever.
Yo, I remember those fucking CDs where it was like, yo, you get internet. which now that I'm thinking about it, makes no sense. How do you get free internet for 30 hours from a CD? You have to have the connection. Like what? Okay, never mind. All right, you know what? Whatever. We don't have time. We don't have time.
Either way, we are going to the SNL 50th anniversary.
Yes, we are.
And they had a lot of big.
They had all the celebrities. They had
Murphy,
Pedro Pascal.
They had
Kate McKinnon, Eddie Murphy.
What's the older Garrett? What's his name?
Tracy Morgan.
Oh, Garrett Morris.
They had Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris, not on the show, but he was a part of like when they did like the premiere.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw he came out. It was very sweet. Like, and you know, he's an older man now. He's in his 80s, I believe.
Ooh, good for you.
Yeah,
good for you. I'll live in Dick Gregory. Not that it matters. Like, I don't know why.
Were they beefing?
No, they weren't beefing. He's just another older.
Yeah,
black comedian that I.
Well, he was an original SNL cast member.
Yes, he was.
And
yes,
the
he was.
first black actor.
Yep.
On the show, he made his debut in October 1975.
Oh, that reminds me. We have to watch. The This Is Saturday Night or the
last Saturday.
The movie that's about the first episode of Saturday Night Live.
There's a movie about that?
You didn't know that? Yeah. What's his face is in it? Dude from New Girl is playing Garrett Morris.
Oh, Tremone. Yes, I know you're talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
I love
Lamorne Morris. Yeah.
Baby daddy.
Okay.
So cute.
Okay.
Funny. He's so cute and funny.
Okay. All right. He also won an Emmy for Fargo, which is another season that we were supposed to have been watching. We watched what, the first episode and then stopped.
We haven't even finished watching.
No, we did watch the first episode.
We did the whole one?
Yeah, because that was when they had the shootout in that convenience store. Yeah. Well, we just haven't watched any other episode after that.
So can you name all the people that are in this collage?
Okay, so
can you name the people and their characters?
No, I can't do the characters.
Okay,
I can only do the people. Bill Hader,
mm-hmm.
Andy Samberg,
mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Kate McKinnon. That's shit. She was in Bridesmaids. Fuck. This is hard. And she's Debbie, and then the other woman who's Debbie Downer.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the dude who does more cowbell he's the famous actor. Everybody does his voice like this. Not Christopher Waltz.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken! Yes. More cowbell.
Now, did you know who the bridesmaid woman is?
No, no, I don't. What's her name?
I'm gonna have to check that one. But Rachel Dratch.
Rachel Dratch is Debbie Downer. I don't know who this is in the yellow.
That is Gilda Radner.
Oh, Gilda Radner. Is she still alive?
No, she passed away a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I think she's a part of the 27 Club.
Ooh.
But good job. So
Good job. Good job. Yeah.
So they had their last week or the week before last? They did the SNL 50. I think it was
it was this past weekend. Yeah.
They had a lot of cute they had a lot of people on there. They had Paul Simon singing with Sabrina Carpenter.
They had Lil Wayne.
Very old.
Yes, Paul Simon is very old. They had Lil Wayne.
Steve Martin did the opening monologue with Martin Short and John Mulaney. John Mulaney's in everything, of course.
Yes. Good for John Mulaney.
Yeah, John Mulaney.
I love John Mulaney too.
I wish they were not canceling Big Mouth and
no, it's not cancel. It's just it's coming in its final season.
It's Big Mouth and what is the other one?
Well, Human Resources got canceled.
I love Human Resources.
They said we're gonna give you a spinoff, and this is not going. So only one season. Human Resources was really good.
It was better than the show.
Yeah, it was less gross than the show because it didn't have anything to do with kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They had Kristen Wiig,
that's her name.
Will Ferrell, Kim Kardashian, Scarlett Johansson, Anna Geisinger, Fred Armisen, Gasteyer. One of the sketches that I saw that I thought was really funny was
Leslie Jones. Yeah, me too. I saw that.
Kenan Thompson, Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones, Eddie Murphy playing Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
Chris Rock and Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks on SNL is so funny. Like, I don't think did Tom Hanks ever do stand up?
No, he didn't. But he does have good comedic chops.
Yeah. Molly Shannon, Emma Stone, I said Martin Short, Molly Shannon was there, Coney Finan, and Andrew Dismukas, Marcelo Hernandez, Sarah Sherman, Sabrina Carpenter, I said her already, Heidi Gardner, Ego Nwodum,
Ego Nwodum, yeah.
Pedro Pascal, Bad Bunny, Beck Bennett, Kyle Mooney, Bowen Yang, who I really love, Andy Samberg. They had a lot of people.
No, they had so many people.
Had
so many people.
Quinta Brunson was on there. Tim Meadows. And okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Was Tim Meadows ever on Mad TV?
No, you're thinking the only black people who was on Mad TV were Phil Lamar, Deborah Wilson,
stupid fucking Aries
Spears,
this dumbass.
One black woman that I don't remember, and Keegan and Key.
Keegan Michael Key?
Jordan Peele and Keegan Michael Key.
Okay.
They were on the later seasons of Mad TV.
Well, it was a star-studded event, which was great. And I think that the skits that they did were very funny that I saw.
Sketches.
What did I say?
You said skits.
Oh, sketches they did were very funny.
That used to drive me crazy when I used to be a comedy writer. Like everybody, there's a difference between skits and sketches. Skits aren't written.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sketches are written.
All right, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to SNL. I wish Mad TV was having a 50th anniversary.
Well, they had.
What I really wish was having a 50th anniversary.
What?
Living single.
Well, not 50. Not living single. Living color.
Living color. Well, I
wish living color. I
wish living single was also having a 50th. Because would it be 50?
How many seasons did Living Single have?
Living Single or in Living Color?
How many seasons did Living Single have, and then how many seasons did seasons did In Living Color?
Living Single had 5.
Yeah,
and they had 118, so they got their
syndication rights. They were syndicated. Like it was literally Frasier and then Living Single after school. It was The Simpsons, then Frasier. It was Frasier, then The Simpsons, then News, then Living Single was Late Night, along with Married with Children.
Yes. In Living Color had 5 seasons.
I used to have those DVDs.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I bought them for my mom back when, God, it was so easy to shop for parents in the early 2000s. All you had to do is buy them a DVD box set of their favorite show. Like I bought my dad Enterprise, because he loves Star Trek. I bought him The Wire. I bought him Lost. Like, he bought me Lost, actually. It was so easy to shop. It was just like, oh, you like TV? Well,
Yeah.
here's your box set.
Well, I wish Didn't Live in Color would have been able. It's not in 1990.
Sorry.
So it's at its 30. It's about to be at its 35th year. So that would have been awesome. But they should still do something for us now at 35 or not in Living Color, because it was amazing, and we wouldn't have so many of the.
Yeah, we wouldn't have Damon. We wouldn't have the various Wayans. We wouldn't have Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have David Allen Greer. And without David Allen Greer, do we have the Proud Family?
No.
No.
You cannot.
No.
So shout out to them.
They'll push your buttons and make you wanna hug family. That's the kind of family that I want.
Pushing buttons
and make you want to hug them.
All right. So next up, there's a new Captain America in town.
Yes.
Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
So Anthony Mackie's Captain America: A Brave New World came out, and it got the top spot for the box office, making for its opening weekend $141 million in the domestic, which is amazing. So can't say that Black people don't bring in the people. What are your thoughts and feels about this? I know that you're hating Marvel right now.
It's not that I'm hating Marvel. It's just that Marvel is in a lull. It's been in a lull since after Phase 3, I think. Like after Phase 3, which was the end of the Infinity Saga. It's been very scattered as far as like things that have been really good. Like for every Loki season 2, you get fucking She-Hulk, yeah. And I didn't want that to be the example because that makes me seem like a sexist. Yeah, even though it's just not a good show. It's not a good show. Captain America and the Winter Soldier is really good. What? I didn't do that. That's not me. Captain America and the Winter Soldier is a pretty good show, even though at the very end. Oh my goodness! This is the perfect opportunity for me to use that drop. Yeah. But yeah, like, and all right, let me make this clear. I'm happy that this movie is number 1 in the box office. I'm happy that this movie is making all the money, especially because Anthony Mackie is, in my opinion, a perfect person to take up the mantle for Captain America. I do think that just from the trailers alone, that this is essentially a Hulk fucking sequel. It's a sequel to the Hulk as opposed to. You can't
just go by the trailers. I still want to see this movie.
Okay. I don't.
Okay.
Not that I think it's bad. I just think that I just feel like this movie could have expounded upon Captain America's rogues gallery as opposed to going with fucking Red Hulk. Red Hulk is not the anti. A hero is only as good as their villain.
Yeah.
Right?
Is Red Hulk a villain?
Red Hulk is a villain to the Hulk.
Oh.
But Red Hulk is not a villain to Captain America. Neither is the leader, who is also a villain of the Hulk. Like it literally. Okay, I'll just say I would be interested in watching this movie once it comes on Disney Plus.
Which probably be soon. They've been putting movies out.
Yeah, they've been putting movies
right back into the house.
Yeah, really
really well in the movies, and it's at Paramount now.
And now it's on Paramount, and apparently I'm gonna have to buy Paramount in order to watch it. and Sonic 3 because I really want to see Sonic 3. But yeah, as far as Captain America is concerned, like I just get the sense that justice is not being done to the character of the Falcon, aka the new Captain America. Even though in the comics, Falcon takes over the mantle of Captain America, and so it's comic accurate in that sense. And therefore, I appreciate that they went along with a black Captain America as they should, but I'm just not enthusiastic with what the execution has been. But that's just me. Who knows?
I mean, I feel
what do I know? Oh, I can't even fucking reference that because he's a Nazi.
I mean, and his wife that he never lets wear his clothes.
Oh, they're getting divorced.
Apparently, but they feel like they go back and forth between getting divorced.
No, they're getting divorced now.
Every so often.
She finally said, "This has been enough. You can put me on the Grammys naked, but I draw the line in anti-Semitism."
Someone said, "What if she has some sort of humiliation kink and she likes it?"
What if he has the humiliation kink?
But it wouldn't be. He's not the one being humiliated.
No,
she is.
They're both being humiliated.
She's the one that is going out naked. Not saying there's nothing humiliating about being naked. Like she's the one.
Yeah, you hear that, Kanye? Next time you want to go to the Grammys and you wear the see-through underwear where we see your D&Bs.
Now
let's see Kanye West Dragon Balls.
That would be a sight. Now speaking of other black people who are doing some dope ass shit.
Sure.
The NAACP Awards.
Ooh, sorry. I thought that was the air horns.
All right. So I'll say it again. You ready?
Yeah.
The NAACP Awards. So the 56th annual NAACP Image Awards, it happened on February 22nd. And some winners were Denzel Washington for Best Supporting Actor in Gladiator 2, Abbott Elementary for Best Comedy Series, Sing Sing, which stars Coleman Domingo, about a man who is imprisoned in Sing Sing, and they started doing musicals and helped him out, etc. One thing that I'm curious about is this movie Amelia Perez.
Oh no!
That stars what's her name? The good blackface. Oh God!
I've been hearing not too good things about this musical.
Well, first of all, it's a musical drama thriller.
Yeah,
which is confusing. Also, it's a French people made a movie about a Mexican cartel leader.
Yeah, apparently they did not do justice to the trans community for this.
Well, I've been hearing it. People who are Mexicans have been having issues with it. Trans folks have been having issues with it, and then people who just like good movies have been having issues with it.
Yes,
but it's been winning all these awards and getting nominated for all these awards. Zoe Saldana. And it's on Netflix.
Oh shit! Zoe Saldana is
she's in
it.
She's one of the lead characters. She's the
of course.
Yeah.
If you need somebody to be
blacken up your.
Well, no, not even blacken up. I was gonna say to color up your.
Well, she's black.
No, I know, but she always is a different color. Isn't Zoe Saldana in Avatar? Isn't Zoe Saldana Gamora?
She is.
Yes. If you need somebody to color up your fucking.
You can do what you wanna do.
In living colors.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this movie because I've just heard so many.
That's actually a really good title, In Different Colors.
We'll see. The 688, which is a Tyler Perry movie, also won big with which starred Kerry Washington. And if you don't know, the 688 are about the Black women who worked during World War II to help get the mail out and boost morale. Beyonce, Doechii, and Kendrick Lamar won as musical artist, and apparently they also gave Kamala Harris an award. Now Dave Chappelle received the President's Award, which I'm confused by
What?
as to why.
For real?
Yeah, he won.
For really?
Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, won the prestigious Chairman's Award. And she said, "Our power has never come from having an easy path. Our strength flows from our faith in God, faith in each other, and our refusal to surrender to cynicism and destruction. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Not because victory is guaranteed, but because the fight is worth it. While we have no illusions about what we are up against in this chapter of our American story, this chapter will be written not simply by whoever occupies a office, nor by the wealthiest among us. The American story will be written by you, written by us, by we, the people." Whoever her writer is, they're doing a great job.
Yes, they are. And also, didn't the Wayans win a Lifetime Achievement Award or something?
The Wayans brother family won. Hold on, I just have it here. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So they were inducted into the NAACP
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. In
Yes.
recognition of pioneering contributions to film, TV, sketch, and stand-up comedy that have shaped Hollywood for decades, which I believe is very true. Keke Palmer also won an award.
Yeah. And she deserves it.
Yeah.
She's been doing really good work.
She is diversified. She has a podcast. She does movies. She sings. She dances. She can do any and all the things. And I'm just happy to see her, doing well, thriving, and living her best life.
And I loved her in Nope.
I loved her in Nope. We haven't watched Nope in a while. We've watched some of those other ones a bunch, but I feel we haven't watched Nope that much.
Well, where is it? It was on Amazon, and then it was on Peacock, and then it was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
All right, so let's do a quick dip into our mental health corner and the things that are making us angry and the things that are making us happy.
Yes, mental health is where we're gonna go. How's your mental health?
I would say it's a mixed bag. On one hand, I do feel an extreme drop in anxiety.
An extreme drop.
Yeah, compared to like other jobs I've had, I am not feeling the overwhelming crush of anxiety that I usually have. It's like a normal amount that I could manage.
Well, you're not in the corporate world anymore.
Yes.
In the world of
children.
World of children.
And I think also because I like what I'm doing right now.
World of Warcraft.
Well, that's kind of also
world of children, yeah.
I think I like what I'm doing right now, and I'm feeling like fulfilled by it in a way that I was not feeling fulfilled by my other jobs, even if they gave me other different types of fulfillment. So right now I'm feeling like less stress.
Mm-hmm.
Like of course, like my stress comes from wanting to make sure the students are getting what they need, are understanding things, are like making it to the end of the year and coming out more knowledgeable than when I came in. But I think that because it's like you're having a lot of conversations with them, you're talking and interacting with them, it's different versus just like being in a freaking cog in a wheel that's doing bullshit and making nothing happen. So yeah, I feel like that's good. I mean, I feel like I definitely need to get back into therapy. I need to get back with my psychiatrist and talk about all those things. But in general, I would say my mental health is like 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, sounds good. And my mental health's at like a 7. Okay, 7 out of 10. Strong 7 out of 10. You know what it is? It's just that I'm so good at taking my medication when I have to work. It's just that the Sundays and Mondays, I have to remember to get back on it because I don't take my Oh shit! I just remembered that I have to go to pick up my medication. Yeah.
I can pick it up for you tomorrow.
Oh well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, if you could, that would be great. Yeah, I just have to remember to take my medication at the beginning of the week. That's all it is.
Yeah. Because it kind of sets you up. And like one thing I have noticed though is when I forget, even when I forget to take my medicine,
I'm not as frazzled.
I am not as frazzled, and I'm very curious if it's just like, is it a job? Is it the type of work I'm doing?
I think it's the type of work that you're doing, because like you're still beholden to bosses, but it's less of a strenuous task because like for you, like it's not like you have to meet deadlines and shit.
Well, I mean, I have to meet deadlines and I have to meet metrics, right? But I think that because I'm like
the metrics and deadlines are different.
They're different, and I'm also just enjoying what I'm doing. Like, you know how much I went into journalism because I wanted to inform people.
Sure, and now you're doing it on a level. I wanted to say granular level, but I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, I mean,
you're doing it at a level of pace that suits you personally.
Yeah. And like when I was younger, I always wanted to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. I just didn't do it because I was told, "Oh, you're not going to be able to make any money from it and all that." And so I was like, okay, well, let me think about other things. And which is honestly not true. If I went to school for education and did it, I would be making far more than what I'm currently.
Right. Agreed.
But I think that just doing something that comes naturally to me, which is like talking to people, asking questions, answering questions, and having those sort of like the discussions you get to have while you're in school. I love that. And I always wanted to end up teaching. Like my goals were to be teaching like higher ed. And so if this is kind of a way to spearhead that later down the road, I'm here for it. Or if this is something where I'm like, oh, wow, actually, I want to stay here with these kids for 20, 30 years, something like that. Who knows? But at least I feel like less stress and also less like fakeness, because at the end of the day, like my metrics are how these students are doing, how when I'm giving them a test, when I'm asking them questions in class, when they're doing their homework, et cetera, et cetera. But I will say having to deal with parents and children is vastly different, not necessarily in an easier way than dealing with like a boss, because it's a difference between having like 4 or 5 people you might have to answer to compared to having parents that you might have to answer to, and because this is not, you're not dealing with, it's not like this kid's like, oh, you go to school, you take a test, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is setting them up for their future. So if they don't understand why they have a grade they got, if they're confused, if they're not leaving out of your class better than they left it, you're not just dealing with 1 or 2, 3 people. You're dealing with like 20 plus different people to be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is my kid not doing X, Y, and Z? And so I feel like that, even though there is that pressure, I don't feel the same kind of like weight.
Sure.
So
that
is, I feel like that's a bonus.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we are both doing well right now, and I hope to see that continue and grow.
Me too. And now we can get into the things that are making us mad. I think I went first last time.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
All right. Well, what's making me mad is that today it came out in the news that Joy Reid is leaving MSNBC as her show The Readout is airing its final episode this week. She had reportedly signed a new contract with Comcast in 2024, but now she's out. Her weekend slot of her 7 p.m. weeknight slot.
How often did you watch the show?
I used to watch like the recaps and the clips of them because she would really every week she'd be doing a show talking about different things that are happening in news, media, entertainment, etc. Discussion roundtable. So I was always seeing it, and like I don't because we don't have like what is the word cable like that. I wouldn't watch necessarily all at the time, but I would go on YouTube, watch those things. And I really feel like the reason why her show is gone is the same reason why so many other black and brown people, women, etc. shows have gone to the wayside throughout the years because of this current administration. But they said her 7 p.m. weeknight slot will be instead filled by a panel show that is anchored by the hosts of the weekend, Simone Sanders Thompson, Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez. And I'm very curious why this happened. Apparently, Entertainment Weekly reached out to Reed, who did not immediately comment. So it could be, is this like because she's had shows on there where she's openly talking about the Trump administration and pushing back? Is it because she's a black woman and they don't want any more DEI hires? But Joy Reid has been a voice for the people on her show. So she started with the Reid Report in 2014, which was for she did that from 2014 to 2015. She had a morning talk show, AM Joy, from 2016 to 2020. And then she landed the primetime slot of The Readout in 2020. She's been a staunch critic of Donald Trump, of course. She was dubbed a heroine of the resistance to his leadership at the New York Times after his first impeachment. And she also wrote a book, The Man Who Sold America, Trump and the Unraveling of the American Story. She's gotten so many accolades. She has received NAACP Image Award for Outstanding News and Information Series. But I'm very curious. It says that this is part of a general overhaul of programming under new MSNBC president Rebecca Coulter. So I'm very curious as to what's going to happen from here and what the show is going to look like. I mean, Simone Sanders is a black woman. Michael Steele's a black man. Alicia Menendez is a Latinx person. I've never seen them before, so I can't tell you what they might be, or I don't really know much about them. But I'm just very curious. MSNBC president Rebecca Cutler said that our jobs are hard on a normal day, and these are not normal times. I think it's important that we all share in the exciting parts of what the year ahead is going to mean in terms of getting to build a new news organization. It's going to be hard, but it's also going to be exciting and interesting and a really important time to do what all of us do. So I don't know what that means really, and like what if that means that why they're taking her out, but I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with Trump. But here we are. She's a white woman, so can we really trust what she has to say? Who knows? But what's up? What's up with you? What's making you upset?
Krispy Kremes is gonna be the death of me. I don't want you, but I need you. I love you and hate you at the very same time. Krispy Kremes, you're gonna be the death of me. I don't want you, but I need you. I love you and hate you at the very same time. Ever since I found out that Krispy Kreme is near my job, I've been ordering Krispy Kremes. And it is doing a number on my glutes and my thighs because they have a strawberry sprinkle donut that is super delicious. And I can't help but get more of them and walk to the Krispy Kreme to get them. I hate that I hate that I work near Krispy Kreme. Is my You live near Krispy Kreme? Or you work near Krispy Kreme?
Nah, I hate that you live there. You work there.
Okay, because that's my answer to everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good answer.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is not.
No. Not all of us can just Throw Krispy Kremes away.
Well, when they're hard and stale.
Nobody told you not to get at it, like, immediately. They weren't hard and stale when you got it.
They were a little bit.
A little bit.
That's why you don't give people donuts, because they go hard and stale extremely quickly. Unless it's like a 1 donut or 2 donut, you can eat it then. But I understand
it's fine.
why you could be upset. It's a love-hate relationship.
I have a love-hate relationship, but it's okay because I can get back into shape now. It's fine. That's everything that I hate right now.
Well, you want to know what I want to know?
What do you want to know?
What do you love? Say, who do you love?
What is this reference?
Who do you love? I don't even remember the reference. Let me see.
Anyhow, let's go into what made us happy this week. Baby merchant, tots are us, I give you our service and no damn fuss. Give a baby merchant just a week or two. I have a baby for you. What's making me happy this week? Obviously, doing this podcast with you, and also you in general. You've been a great person to you've been a North Star in my life. I'll put that way. And just being alive, honestly. I don't
It feels so
good to be alive. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. Yeah, that's everything that's making me happy this week. How about you?
All right. Well, I have a few things, but the first one that I'm going to go with is the death of a horrible, horrible man. This guy, the white guy. So if you don't remember, it was like a year or two ago, this 86-year-old man from Missouri, Andrew Lester of Kansas City, Missouri, was charged, shot Ralph Yarl, who is in the picture, shown in the picture, who was a Black honor student who accidentally rang the man's doorbell. Thankfully, Ralph survived. He's currently a freshman at Texas A&M. But Ralph, like I said, was 86, and he passed away after he was charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. In the shooting, he was scheduled to be sentenced March 7th, but has passed away. So now, I mean, the one side, Yarl's family said that they were upset that he wasn't going to be able to see justice. But I think that, you know what? Send him straight to hell. Because we didn't need him. We didn't need him here. He has not brought anything to our lives. He wasn't going to be able to really face that much justice because look at him. He was very old. So if he would have even gotten to be in jail for a year, that would have been enough. But I'm just happy to see a racist, terrible person under the ground where they cannot terrorize us anymore with their face or with their stinky, weird, and rude shenanigans. So fuck you. Go to hell. And I can't wait for Trump to join me. And what else is making me happy this week? Of course you are.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have a week off from work.
Sure.
Because I was extremely tired. I'm still tired, to be honest, but I'm glad that I got to have more sleep every day. And yeah, I think I feel a sense of ease. And so I'm happy about that.
All right, that's good. Well, if that's everything, then that's everything. Shall we go into the close?
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you all for watching another episode of the Black and Sturdy Podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Black and Sturdy Podcast. Until then, take it easy, keep it sleazy. Bye.